Untraceable with no background check required. Americans will soon be able to 3D print guns in their homes, including AR-15s. A Texas nonprofit plans to release blueprints for guns online starting August 1st. In 2012, that company filed a lawsuit after the government shut them down. Last month, they settled, allowing the release of the blueprints. Now, we want to know what you think about this on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 meaning you don't like the idea and 10 meaning you do. Vote now at WBIR.com/vote or in the WBIR app. In the meantime, 10 News reporter Sean Franklin explores what this could mean for the gun control debate. Sean?
Robin, gun control is already a controversial subject. Now, guns could get even easier to get and harder to regulate.
You can see it and you can hear it loudly and clearly on Defense Distributed's YouTube channel. The Texas nonprofit plans to release blueprints for guns, 3D printed guns, for download August 1st. Lincoln Memorial University constitutional law professor Stuart Harris says this could change the gun control debate drastically.
It means that anybody with very little skill, except some basic computer skills, can download these guns and assemble them and be fully armed, packing heat in a short period of time.
That's possible because Defense Distributed's founder, Cody Wilson, filed a lawsuit in 2012 after the government blocked his initial effort to release gun blueprints online. Harris says his argument was based on the First Amendment's freedom of information.
This is speech. I have a right to upload this speech. Other people have a right to download this speech.
The U.S. State Department settled last month, giving him permission to release the blueprints.
This is really just the beginning. What happens when people start downloading the parts for explosive devices?
Harris says while the lack of a serial number on the gun makes it hard for law enforcement to police, for everyone else, there's a greater concern.
Most of us agree, even people who don't particularly like gun control, we want to keep guns out of the hands of mentally incompetent people or children or bad people. But all of those people have internet connections. This is a tool that people can use to very effectively evade the law and make very dangerous weapons that are effectively untraceable.
Right now, the 3D printer it would take to print these parts would be very expensive. So the materials are not common and probably not what you would have around the house. Robin, John?